It's time for this podcast. We're doing it. This is the one. I'm introing this one because this is the second time we tried to record it, and I actually made Judd ashamed of himself by making him intro the last one, so I'll fucking do it. Here we go. It's a special occasion. It's a special edition podcast. We had other stuff planned for this podcast, but as we were reviewing what they were, we were like, none of that's interesting at all. So, you know what? We're doing this. Here's what we're doing. Our top, our favourite and our least favourite movies and TV and video games that we experienced in 2022.
They all sucked. Every one of them. Every one of them was fucking dog shit.
Everything sucks. Everything is badly. That's the whole point of this shit. So this isn't stuff that came out in 2022. This is things that we experienced in 2022. So that'd be like TVs, movies, video games that we happened to either watch or play in 2022. Because I've been keeping track of that. Because I'm so unprepared, I'm literally only just filtering the spreadsheets where we keep track of this sort of thing right now. So, because if you didn't know, Judd, why don't you explain for once about the spreadsheet? Why don't you explain what this is?
So, the spreadsheet is this really autistic concept that Jake sort of like conjured up in his head
Judd
a while ago.
can say that joke because I actually am autistic.
I'm a little bit. I don't think I'm as bad as you. I think I got some other things going on with my head, but
I think I got some demons in my head.
Yeah, I got some dang old demons up there. But anyway, so you came up with this idea of a sort of rating system out of 100 for just any TVs and movies and games that we'd seen or played recently, and I hate how invested I fucking got in it as well because you first said it to me and I was like, why? I was like, why? We're not doing this for anybody. This is like, we do this after the podcast. Which is usually just us sat alone in a fucking Twitch stream with no viewers, just saying what we think about a show. But I love doing it. It's one of my favorite parts of doing the podcast because
it's fun to look back and think about what you thought of shows. Do you want to know the reason why I started it in the first place? Was because a friend of the stream, Cal, had an account on, I can't remember what the website's called, but it's a website where you rank out of 5. I think it's just movies. Now, with my autistic brain, I was like, 5 is not a big enough number. It's not detailed enough. How can you ever rank things appropriately at that scale? It should be at least 100. So then I started a spreadsheet that took his scores and I put them against my scores and a bunch of scores from the other stuff. I thought, I'll just include like Judd and my girlfriend in this as well because why not? We'll see what we all think of stuff. And then those two, and then Cal and my girlfriend couldn't be arsed doing it anymore. So I just deleted them off the spreadsheet. So now it's just us. That's the origin story of this. So we will today take a look at the stuff that was put on this spreadsheet, ranking things out of 100, we'll look at our favourites, our least favourites. So just a full explanation, just in case you don't understand. We've got a spreadsheet that has movies and TV on it, that they're in one spreadsheet. I can filter it by movies or TV, it's fine. And we have a spreadsheet with a bunch of video games in. Me and Judd have both given every single entry on that spreadsheet a score out of 100. There's also data on Rotten Tomatoes critic scores, Rotten Tomatoes audience scores, IMDb ratings, that's for movies and TV, and on the video games one, we've got Metacritic critics, Metacritic's audience, and IGN scores as the extra data. So, what we're going to be looking at, being as it is the end of the year when this is going out, we'll be looking at our favourites and our least favourites individually. So Judd's favourites and least favourites, my favourites and least favourites. And then we'll probably be looking at the overall score for least favourites and favourites. So that'll be including averages from all of the other sources like Metacritic, IGN, IMDb, all of that sort of thing. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't make a lot of sense, I'm sure you'll get it as we continue through the podcast. The reason why this is an entire podcast is it'll probably take forever. What do you fancy starting with, Judd? Do you want to start with video games, movies, or TV?
Well, we always start with movies and TVs stuff.
Okay.
When we do it, we'll do it after the podcast. So let's do your favorite movies and TVs first.
Okay, we'll do my least favorite movies and TV that I've seen this year, and then we'll go to my favorite movies and TV. So should we do? We'll do top 10. I think that's probably fine. 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. Okay. So coming in at number 10. Bear in mind, some of these will probably have the same score. We'll probably get some joint scores. The number 10 worst thing I've seen. Did you say, are we doing TV or movies first?
We'll do TV. I'm not too bothered.
Okay. I might have only seen 10 TV shows now.
Okay.
So this might be stuff, you have to bear in mind, this might be stuff that we've remembered, that we saw ages ago, but was added this year.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So we might not have necessarily seen it all this year, but so it coming in at number 10 for me with a score of 45. That shows how much TV shows I've seen this year, being as the 10th worst TV show that I've added to this spreadsheet is nearly average.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's not too bad for you, especially like.
Well, I've actually added
45.
I've added 50 things to this spreadsheet, so I think that might just be telling that. One sec. There we go. A lot of stuff that I've chosen to watch, I was pretty sure that I would like going into it. And I think a lot of stuff is just stuff I've forgotten to add. So, anyway, coming in at number 10 is Antiques Roadshow with a score of 45. Because it's fine, but it's a little bit boring, you know? What thoughts on Antiques Roadshow? You thought it was 50.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, because it's just one of those shows, and it's just one of them that you just, there's fucking nothing on. What I'm going to have? Oh, Antiques Roadshow's on. Like...
It's
just one of them for me, like
disappeared for me, because like there's no point. I'll slap on a YouTube video I'm more interested in or something. You know, because we've got on-demand content. There's no reason to watch it. The like complete standard of anything I would ever want to watch is just
Antique Roadshow is not meant for the type of people who know that YouTube is like an available sort of medium. Like I tell you what Antique Roadshow is. Antiques Roadshow is like, you know, when you're sort of looking for a YouTube video that's like, oh, I don't want something that takes my full attention, but I want something that holds me long enough to, like, you know, I want to eat my dinner or something while it's on. That's what Antiques Roadshow is.
I suppose,
and that's why I have to literally just give it a straight 50, because all it is a dude stood there going, "Oh, here's a thing. Let's see how much this thing is worth."
I guess it could be kind of interesting. How much this thing is
worth.
I'm going to boost its score a little bit thinking about this now. I'm going to give it a 47. It still stays in the same place, but, you know, I suppose some people... I could maybe find some of it interesting. I think that's me getting older. I think the older I get, that score's going to creep further and further up this list.
Eventually, it will be 100.
My number 9...
will be 84.
My number 9 least favourite thing I've added to the spreadsheet is The Legend of Dick and Dom. Because I remembered that this year. And I remembered that it's like...
When did that come out? The Legend of Dick and Dom. I remember watching that on
first aired CBBC. January 2009.
Yeah.
I have that data on this spreadsheet too. I've been taking a long time to put that data into this spreadsheet, by the way, because we didn't initially have it, so I've had to go through thousands of entries and put it all in manually. So yeah, The Legend of Dick and Dom. I remember Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, if you're from the UK, is an iconic classic show for people our age. They now go around doing DJ sets to do with Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, which I don't know if it's cool or cringe. It's one of those. I've never been to one, but we should definitely go to one of those DJ sets. They did like a scripted TV show that was set in like Middle Ages, and it was just kind of weird. I didn't get it. Like, why are you doing this? Out of all the things, like, you know, the TV presenters, they're not actors. These people, you know, Dick and Dom, that's their names. It's not just like a kids show that has Dick in it. There's actual cocks and kids show. I
No, I think his name really is Dick.
His name's Richard. You know.
Yeah, so that's Dick.
Anyway, I just thought that Legend of Dick and it's such a hard show to describe because you have to know all the like Dick and Dom lore. You have to know about like CBBC presenters and which ones were the best ones, and the fact that they had this show that was like reality, but there was some scripted bits, and there was this, but then they actually did a fully scripted show, and for some reason, rather than doing it based off some of the other stuff they did it that was medieval, and it's such a weird like thing to mention. It's like it's so niche because even in our country. Like, only people who were a certain type of person that is our age and was in our country, it like really narrows it down.
Sorry, do you, really quickly, do you remember when there was those presenters on CBBC where it was the dude? I think I can't remember his name, but he was paired up with the cactus puppet called Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch isn't Oscar the Grouch is
no he's in the he's the Sesame guy. Sorry no he's a hold on CBBC. There was like Oucho, that's it, Ed and Oucho. Do you remember the Ed and Oucho bit where they straight up showed a picture of Hitler and Oucho was like, "That's you" to the Ed presenter.
No,
and they like. Do you not remember that? I'm sending that over.
Okay,
like,
we might have to react to that for a clip or something like that. But that sounds ridiculous because that's something that in this era where Dick and Dom were doing this show and that's something that happened because on the CBBC channel they would have like. It was almost like radio in that they wouldn't just put shows after each other. There'd be like a person in the middle of each show that'd like, tell you what's coming up and talk to you about things.
That episode of Horrible History's just fucking crazy, except they wouldn't say fucking.
Yeah, but the thing is, obviously, this was like a job that people did, so it wasn't the same person doing that job all the time for many years. They swapped around, so every time they got a new presenter, they had like a new fucking puppet character because I remember there was you obviously remember Ed and Oucho. My girlfriend remembers fucking
the dog.
Hacker.
Yeah, Hacker
the dog.
Yeah.
That's the one that she had, and that was with fucking Ian Sterling, who now presents Love Island, which is so weird. And I remember Nev the Bear. Do you remember Nev the Bear?
No, I remember Hacker and Oucho. I don't remember Ed the Bear.
Nev the Bear. Ben and
Nev the Bear. I immediately forgot his name.
But then there's also the classic Basil Brush. Basil Brush, that's where he came from.
But Basil is like from the Basil Brush show, isn't he?
I'm pretty sure he got a show as a spin-off from doing that. Or maybe the other way around. I don't know.
I don't know.
What a fucking weird niche time we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Long story short, there was this weird spin-off scripted show from some of the presenters that was set in the Middle Ages, and it was it's giving me lung disease. It was odd. It was really odd. And I gave it a 45. Anyway, coming in at what's this, number 7? Fifth Gear. I remembered this and had this on because when a new episode of The Grand Tour came out this year, I was like, oh yeah, I remember when that was Top Gear. Oh yeah, I remember when that was Fifth Gear. See what I'm saying here? There's like a hierarchy of this. The Grand Tour is the best one. Well, presented by Clarkson, Hammond and May, it's probably old Top Gear, then the Grand Tour, then new Top Gear, then Fifth Gear. Because Fifth Gear was like, it was when the first presenters of Top Gear were like, fuck this shit, I don't want to work for the BBC anymore. We're going to do the same show, but for Channel 5. Much inferior channel. Nobody likes Channel 5. I don't know why as well. It's like, for some reason, that's the channel that back when we only had 5 channels on TV in the UK, for some reason everyone's like, oh, Channel 5's the worst one though. like it could have put the best thing on and everyone was like, oh, no, it sucks. But anyway, they were doing the same show. But the thing is, as weird as it sounds, it was a car show that it was like too informative. So it wasn't too entertaining. Like, because obviously when something's on TV, you're more likely than not going to want to watch it for entertainment. I feel like Fifth Gear would thrive a lot more on YouTube for like actual informative stuff.
Keep telling us about the incredible stuff about top or fifth gear while I quickly run for a piss?
He's literally just done a piss before that we started this, and he's having to go for another one. Anyway, fifth gear, it was just weird. It was too informative. It wasn't fun. It was like, oh yes, and we're driving this new TVR that you'll never be able to obtain. It does 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds, and its ceramic brakes have an interesting alloy between ceramic and titanium mold. What? The tire pressure should be set at 36.2 psi, but the left front tire pressure should be 36.1 psi. The rear left tire should be set at 37.9 psi, and then the rear back tire pressure should be set at 0 psi.
That's nothing. That's an unflated tire.
They weren't even very good. I don't know, man. That's what it was like, though. So it was just like, it was like taking something that could have been really fun, like, boom, boom, ha, fast car. And they're like, yes, yeah. and then make sure you tighten this bolt around 4.5 times. And it's, nah, dull, ruined it, 41. At least it still had fast cars. But anyway, coming in at number 6 for me, this is going to be a controversial one. Archer. You seen Archer? You like Archer, don't you?
Yeah, I like it, but because there's there's Archer fans, who like really like Archer, and like I like Archer. Like I'd give it. What did I give it?
75 out of 100. You gave it.
You put that down to like a 60. I give it 69. I give it a 69 for Archer because I know that Archer
fans
guy
would like that. Do you know what? Okay. I feel like Archer fans are almost like theatre kids in a certain way. They give off kind of similar vibes in that, like, they're too desperate for you to like the thing they like. And it's kind of off-putting. I watched Archer before I was aware of the fans being like this, and I managed to get through like 2/3 of the first season. And when I'd watched 2/3 of it and found none of it funny, I was like, oh, this is a problem. I find that
surprising, like that you found none of it funny, because I found a good bit of it funny. Like I found it interesting enough and funny enough. I didn't think it was groundbreaking.
I could maybe do with rewatching it potentially, but I don't think didn't click. Just didn't click with me. I don't know. It's just one of the. So I gave it a 37 because when the show when you can tell a show's supposed to be funny.
Oh my god, that's quite bad.
Yeah, I found it quite bad because when you know a show's trying to be funny and it's really not hitting, it just comes across as like annoying. You know when someone's like it's like the prodding you going, that's funny, isn't it? Yeah, am I funny? It's like it felt like that. It's like
I didn't think it was like that, but
it was so long ago that I actually ended up watching it. It was just more recently that I added it to the spreadsheet. So 37. Not interested. I just can't click with it. Just can't click. It's like, when you watched Hoops. Remember that show?
Yeah.
I quite liked Hoops.
That was because the dude kept bringing up. That was because the main dude kept bringing up like sexual situations with children in it. That was the reason.
When you see it in that context, it sounds a lot worse than when you actually watch it. I thought Hoops was kind of funny, but not amazing, but kind of funny. But you heard it, and it's the same thing with this. It's like the characters in Archer are so annoying. I don't want to be around any of them. I don't want to hang out. I would not want to hang out with a single character.
I'm not
going to
argue with you. I don't care enough about Archer to argue with you on any of these points. So.
Okay, here's one where I'm going to get crucified even more. Let me just check that this is what number this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, this is number 6. Yeah, this is my number 6 most hated TV show of the year that I've added to this. We might have to speed this up because it's taking ages. The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I watched a few episodes of The Walking Dead, and I was never really hooked. And I really liked the comics, so I expected to like this quite a bit more, but I wasn't bothered.
I have to admit, zombie apocalypse is not a particularly interesting scenario to me. It's like
not
pretty
anymore,
one note, isn't it? It's like it's zombies. Yeah. That's the thing. The zombies. I get it.
But the thing is, it never ends up actually being about the zombies, does it? It's always about the situations of these people that have been placed in it. And it always goes the same pretty much. And it goes the same in any apocalypse movie.
Yeah.
Where you have this character who's sort of, put in the middle of it all, and then he's faced with an adversary who is, he's taking a different approach to the apocalypse, and,
because it's so played out, and the show went on forever. Is it still going on, isn't it? Or at least there's a spin-off of it going on.
I think it's just finished, but there was some talk of a spin-off.
It's so fucking long, and every episode is so much. The problem I have with Game of Thrones, this is worse for. They're just chatting for ages. If I want, I can do that. I can just ring someone up and talk to them. Like, I'm doing it now. We do it every week. Just watch this podcast instead. This is
a you problem, though. This talking thing is a you problem, because good dialogue is gives
it's
people
not
like
good
me
dialogue.
a big hard
That's my
on.
point. It's not good dialogue. Good dialogue is to the point, concise, emotional, and has a reason for being said. None of that happens in these shows. It's just blabbering about bollocks. It's just bollocks. It's just irrelevant. You could cut like 80% of these shows, these types of shows, and that's a big problem I had with Walking Dead. With that, I hated it. It's stupid. It's zombies as well. So much action could be happening. It just doesn't happen. Having said that, I've not watched that much of it, because the bit I did watch, I hated so much, I didn't want to watch any more of it. I remember the whole shocking bit where that guy with a baseball bat hammered someone's head in or something.
Oh, so you got fairly far then?
No, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch up to that. I just was aware that the internet exploded when that happened, and I saw that clip and thought,
Negan when he fucking smashed the guy's head in, the guy who voices Invincible.
Well, I was thinking when I was watching that clip, having not seen any rest of it, I was thinking, I bet I sure would enjoy this if I gave a shit about any of these characters.
Yeah.
Because I can't understand how anyone can give a shit about these characters when all it is, so did you show Christy the photo? Does she know? Well, I thought about it, but then I'm not so sure. My feelings are a bit messed up right now, and I don't really... It's literally fucking like that! It's so bad. Yeah. Anyway, I gave it 26 out of 100.
That's in 20s? All right.
Speaking of 26... a show that I can't even remember. I don't even know what the fuck it is. I've not even written when it came out on here. Creeped Out. What's this? Creeped Out?
Oh, that was the show my mum was in.
Was it?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Judd's mum. I watched some of it, I think. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I think it was just on the telly. I think my girlfriend was watching it, and I ended up accidentally watching an episode with her. It was shit, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised I gave it a 26. I can't tell you why, because it was that forgettable. That's coming in at number 5.
I watched the episode with my mum in, I think, and then that's all I watched for it, so.
Right. Fair enough. Another one I added this year, coming in at number 4. This is one of my least favourite game shows ever. Tipping Point.
Okay, yeah.
Tipping Point sucks. 23. I think this could be the autism again, but it's not fucking fair. It's just gambling. It's just
gambling.
That's not a game show.
Yeah, I know.
It's not a stupid idea. Why would I watch then?
I know.
Because what the person doesn't
stupid.
matter. Why don't I just load up footage of a slot machine and watch that happen?
I know. You could.
It's just stupid. There's no point watching it. Whenever something's got so much random nature to it that that it doesn't matter what you do, basically, then there's just no point in watching it. I fucking hate it. Fucking hate that. Another game show comes in at number 3 of the worst things that I decided to rate this year. Pointless. I've given a 20 out of 100.
Wow, I gotta be surprised. I'm surprised that's lower than Tipping Point.
I am also surprised. I might swap these about. I think I might up Pointless to... I'm not fucking changing it because someone's just messaged me. You know how much I fucking hate getting messaged. I hate getting bothered. I'm turning my phone off. Fucking hell. No, I'm gonna change Pointless to a 30. So that actually moves up to my number fifth or somewhere around there, and puts Tipping Point down to my third worst. Because Pointless it's annoying. I don't think I like the presenters, I think is the thing on that. I think part of it was Pointless Celebrity version. That was what. Oh, and also it's the amount of money they can win, because they never win. They never end up winning any money.
Yeah.
They end up even Ben Jesimo's saying Pointless is so bad. Pointless is pointless. Yeah, that was it. I'm remembering now. It's all coming back to me. The Pointless Celebrity version they're not even close to celebrities. Not even. They're so far away. We are more famous than the people they get on Pointless Celebrity, and one person listens to us ever. So
Ben, what's your most hated game show?
Well, yeah. Well, let's see if we can get that in chat. But
from a younger demographic, what's your most hated one? I think Ben's 14.
I suppose at least Pointless, kind of the fundamentals of it are okay, but the celebrities are so annoying on the celebrity version, and also the amount of money that you might win on it. I'm pretty sure is like £400. Which will probably be less than people have had to spend to get on there.
It's nothing.
So especially when Mr. Beast is giving away like $2 million a week or some shit. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, the number 2 most disliked TV show that I remember to rate this year is Babe Station. Internet porn exists. You can see as much tits as you like. I don't need to tune in at midnight and ring a lady up for $1,000 a minute.
You don't even. But the whole sort of thing I think back then was like, oh, you're talking to them, like you're in this now because you're talking to them. But yeah, like you say, you can get that like from anyone, any lady on the internet, can't you? So
plus, I mean.
No, not that I know or anything. Gulp.
The internet's worse now for it, but the memories of Babe Station for us, the only time I ever watched it was when I was a kid. And that's bad. It shouldn't have been.
You shouldn't have been doing that.
We've mentioned on the podcast before how often that we'd like stay up at our dad's to watch Babe Station. It was even weirder because I never fucking did it at home. I never did it at home. It was like an activity to do with the boys. It was so weird. And that's why, like, including the memories of it, it's getting a 19. It's seedy. I don't like it. Weird. Ben's saying Pointless is probably their least favourite. So,
well, there you go then.
So my least favourite TV show that I've decided to rate in 2022 is Beavis and Butthead. I have no clue how that ever was enjoyable. So there was I tried to get through 3 episodes of that. I couldn't do it. And it's just so annoying. It's just annoying. There's no funny behind it. I appreciate the 14 is just because of the icons, like the iconic nature and kind of the stylistic nature of it. And sometimes they'd show some skateboarding. I guess it wasn't relevant in any way. Sometimes there'd just be like a skateboard trick happen. I don't know. That's as much as I can give it for that.
Pretty cool. I get it.
But holy shit! It's one of those where I just can't even comment on how fucking bad it is. It's just so not funny. It's literally just annoyance embodied, to be honest. So anyway, that's my least favourite TV shows that I've rated this year. Shall we do my favourite TV shows that I've rated this year, or should we do your least favourite?
No, let's do my least favourite. Let's do it like that.
Okay. So
that's. I feel like that's. No, go on. Don't matter. It don't matter.
So coming in at number 10 for Judd's least favourite, he's rated 60. He actually likes it. This is little. So this is the amount of TV shows that Judd's entered a score for. 30. There's only 30 this year that Judd's been able to enter a score for.
I still think that's a lot for me.
So coming in at number 10, Count Duckula, which you've given 60. Classic old TV show.
It's
I guess
a classic.
What else do you want to say about it? It's probably fine.
You put it on, you get a big old smile on your face, a big old nasty, gross smile on your face. Is Count Duckula.
You know, it's not going to take you very far. It's not.
No,
shocking,
it won't
but
take
it's nice.
you far. Like you know, you're not. Yeah.
Going in at number 9 for Judd is The Chase, which is given a 58.
Yeah.
It's The Chase is
Look,
one
I
of the
just
better
think-
game shows, I would say. I still gave it a 48. I think game shows are fucking stupid. But
I just think it'd be more entertaining if they were allowed to like actually chase the contestants. Like,
again, my biggest problem with The Chase is the prize pools nowadays. It's just nothing compared to YouTube. So what's the point in watching it anymore? Because the whole point is, imagine if they could actually like win. Because it's such a difficult thing to do. Well, yeah, imagine if they could win. They'll win like half of their monthly wage. That's it.
yeah.
But as a game show, it's all right. Coming in at number 8, which gets a score of 58 as well. Xavier Renegade Angel. Is that how you say
shit!
it?
Oh, I thought that was for some reason. I thought that was you. Never mind. Go on.
No, that's yours.
I got really excited. I know. I know it's my list. For some reason, because I heard the name, I was like, "Oh my god, you watched Savior and it?" But never mind.
You rated it. You rated it 58.
Yeah,
Still above,
it's
bear in
not
mind,
as-
still above average. These are actually not bad scores at all.
No.
In fact, well, you'll see how many of these actually slip below average, with how many of these Judd actually thinks are bad, even though they're in his bottom. Next, in at number, what's this? 9, 8, 7? Yeah, 7. QI, which Judd's rated 55. It's funny and educational.
I see two things that I just don't understand. It's like humor and education. So.
Speaking of which, humour and education, The Weakest Link is Judd's 6th least favourite thing he's added to this spreadsheet this year. The Weakest Link, I got a 49 for me. 49.
She's she's a bitch, isn't she? Like,
back then it was seen as so funny, but like, now
she was seen as like almost endearing, but like now I'm just like, why are you being so nasty? Like,
Ben says, I'd love to watch that fat one try and run. They're all fat. What are you on about?
They're all fat, aren't they? Everyone's
fat.
Yeah. Everyone in the world
we're
is
fat.
fat.
Don't know about you. So, for some reason, I don't know how he could ever do this. Judd's 5th least favourite show that he's added to this spreadsheet in 2022 is Prank Patrol. You have given it a 53, though.
Yeah, that's not... That this just sounds like it's been a decent year for me. I've not really. It sounds like I'm not really hated on much this year. Like,
there's not much you've thought of to add that you didn't like.
I'm not gonna sit here and like talk shit about Prank Patrol because I don't think there's much to be talked shit about it. But I also don't feel like there's any sort of real entertainment.
It's just
value
like a
there.
wholesome prank show for kids that was on Kids Channel. It was fine. I gave it a 61. I liked it a lot when I was a kid.
But even back when I was a kid, I was never sort of like endeared by any of the pranks. I was always sort of just like,
you were too
I was
scarred
never
already.
bothered. Yeah.
Okay, so number 4. This is the first thing that you've given a 50. Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah, again, because like I say, it's just like it's almost a stoned show, if I'm being honest with you, because it is because it feels like just something that you just have on, like for no real sort of entertainment value. It's just so.
Well, we're now getting into the territory where you're going to start a controversy because the 3rd worst, according to you, that you've added this year is Pokemon. The Pokemon anime you gave 40.
It's just the same thing every time, and he goes, "Whoa, I'm gonna get this Pokemon," and then Team Rocket show up and they go, "Don't count on it, Ash. We're going to do something, and
you're
we'll
right.
get you."
I gave it 62, but you're totally right.
Yeah.
I'm giving it like a 53 because it's still Pokemon. I like Pokemon.
And I was never big into Pokemon.
The show does kind of suck, if I'm being honest. Okay. Your 2nd least favourite that I've added to the spreadsheet this year is Brickleberry. You gave it a 30.
Oh, Brickleberry, man. Honestly. Fuck Brickleberry.
Ben says he's a child and hasn't watched the new Pokemon anime. Don't. It's fine. Brickleberry does kind of suck. Oh, I like all. I don't know who the group is that produces them. So there's like Brickleberry, Paradise PD, and Farzar.
Yeah,
Paradise
PD is much worse as well. Like
than Brickleberry.
Yeah.
No, Judd, they are all literally the same. They're literally the same thing. Every single one of them. It's literally the same characters, but this one's space, this one's police, this one's forestry department. I used to like quite a lot of these shows, and then I started the latest season of Paradise PD, and it's so shit. Literally within the first 5 minutes, they're doing jokes about a guy having a shit baby, like a baby made of shit. And it's like, oh, I'm done with it. I'm not 13, you know? It's like, it was, at the start, it kind of felt like it was, oh, remember when, like, kids would find this sort of thing funny? And it was kind of almost like an ironic joke of that. But it stopped being a parody of that. It just is that now. And I've just rated them all 50 because I started off liking them, but now it's just, it pisses me off. Anyway, your least favourite, Babe Station, which you also rated 30. Because still titties, am I right?
Well, there we go. I suppose that's my least favourite rating of the year.
Yeah, that's the thing that you've rated as worse. Well, a joint with Brickleberry, you gave it a 30 of this year. Brickleberry.
I tell you what, I'll give Brickleberry a 29 just so he can have a definitive loser of the year. Because
fine.
There we go.
So Brickleberry's the worst, according to Judd. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Well, but the thing about it, Judd, would you rather watch an hour of Babe Station or an hour of Brickleberry?
Babe Station.
Well, there you go. Fine. Okay, we got it. We did it, folks. Okay, so this is going to be a long podcast, by the way, looking at the time recording on this, but fuck it, we're doing it. Okay, let's get to top 10 TV shows of oh, wait, we need to do the worst overall. Sorry, worst 10 TV shows overall. So this includes ratings from Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. Okay, so according to this, we've got, I'm going to quick fire through these because there's a lot of the same things. In fact, they're all the same things. So, 10, Pokemon with 56. 9, Brickleberry with also 56. 8, Legend of Dick and Dom with 55. 7, Creeped Out with 53. 6, Fifth Gear with 53. 5, Weakest Link with 53. 4, Pointless with 52, 3, Beavis and Butthead with 45, 2, Tipping Point with 39, and 1, Babe Station with 25.
Wow, I'm sorry, babes. I almost feel sorry for the girls.
Well, you have to bear in mind, there's no ratings on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes for Babe Station, so that's just the average of our scores. So it's not perfect, but it is what it is.
Look,
that's that.
Girls, I don't think any of you are listening to this right now, but listen, if any of the Babe Station girls are listening to this, it's not you, okay? It's us.
For any further discussion on any of this, by the way, please tweet at TweetsBadly. Let's get into my favourite TV shows that I've remembered to add to this spreadsheet this year. In at number 10 is a new show that apparently they are offended. A new show that I think I watched this year. It might have only come out this year. I don't know. I've only just got into it this year. Dead Pixels. I gave 69.
Yeah, you've been talking about this, and I seen it like pop up on stuff. I don't know what it's on. It's on
if
something
you like
that
stuff
I'm
like
on.
Fresh Meat or like Bad Education. You know, shows like that. You know the kind.
Yeah. I know the kind. I know the fucking
Friday Night Dinner, maybe. You know, stuff like that. In betweeners, all these sorts of things. It's a decent one of those. I like it. I would watch more seasons of it.
It's all when I look at it, but whatever.
The gameplay sections of it fully are. But they're meant to like hold up against like World of Warcraft, but it's not the point. It's like parodying it, and you have to bear in mind, whenever something's parodying gamers in like a TV show or a movie, they're never going to get it right. They never do. But this gets it enough right to be kind of funny. It's not so much about that, it's about the situations and stuff, but...
Is it all about those epic gamer moments? Those epic lols that you share between gamers?
No. Anyway, shout out to King of the Hill, which I also gave 69 as well. King of the Hill, pretty decent show.
Bobby?
In at number 9, I've got Naruto Shippuden.
Wow, okay.
Remember to add it. Gave it a 70. I never finished it,
Because you watched that, apparently. Okay.
I watched it before. I just remembered to add it to the spreadsheet this year. In at number 8 is Naruto. So I gave Naruto 72. I prefer Naruto to Shippuden. Different. Yeah, they are. It's like Dragon Ball versus Dragon Ball Z, I think.
Okay.
I prefer Naruto to Shippuden. Shippuden's really long, and I feel like it has more filler. I'm not sure.
And he says, "You are the ship on them," and that's where
whatever.
It gets the name from.
And I just can't finish it. Those PogChamp moments. Thanks, Ben.
Ben, go to bed.
That's what's in Dead Pixels. Nice. No, I just couldn't finish shipping it. It's too long. I just couldn't be bothered. I just fell off, and then I can't hop back on again because I feel like I have to start from the beginning to remember what's happened. But then it takes forever to get to where I was and whatever. But I gave it 17.
Yeah.
It's quite cool anime. It's one of my favorite animes I've seen because most animes are shit. In at 7, a show that I watched a lot of this year. My Name is Earl. That's a good fucking show.
Oh shit! Okay.
It's just a nice. It's like warm. It's like a cozy show. It's just nice to watch. The characters are quite fun. I wouldn't mind going to a bar and hanging out with them, unlike fucking Archer. That's the difference.
Earl is the guy who ended up looking after the chipmunks, right?
Yeah, nice reference. I wonder how many people piece that together.
Oh no! Is Arnold? Is that his name? What's his name?
Did you just fucking say Arnold?
Alvin!
Just like, oh, this guy looked at the chipmunks.
What's his name?
Arnold! Hey,
What is his
Arnold!
name?
What is it? Hey, Alvin now?
I'm walking down the street.
Imagine it in chipmunk
Get
voice.
along with each other.
It's like, you know, it's... oh, God. What a rollercoaster that was. Similar sort of show that's just been added recently. So I need to check if you want to add a score for this, actually, Judd. Seinfeld.
Oh, I give that like a 60.
Well, I gave it a 74. I like it a lot. It's quite funny. It reminds me of Friends, but it's all set in the 90s, which I quite like. I love that era. It's nice to nostalgically look back on in the holidays. Seinfeld. I just kind of slapped it on because I listen to a lot of Triforce podcast, and Sips from there is very like into shows like that, and like, you know, like Curb Your Enthusiasm and things like that. And I thought he's always banging on about these. I feel like I'll probably not like him that much because they're old, and he's kind of old, and I don't know if I'll get the comedy, but I do. It's good. I like it.
Have you ever seen the video of Kramer like shouting the N-word at the Laugh Factory?
No, I haven't.
So
maybe.
I'll send you that like on Facebook or something. So basically, you'll know Kramer then, the actor that played Kramer. He went to like the Laugh Factory or somewhere like that, and there was a group of black gentlemen that sat down in the audience, and they must have had a few drinks or something, and they were talking loudly enough amongst themselves. But Kramer was having a really bad set, and like all he could hear in the background was these people talking. So he quite very profusely called them the N-word. It wasn't a good scene.
I'm gonna forget that when I keep watching the show, because you may have ruined it a little bit for me. But I like it. I like the show. It's quite good. 74. Number 5 favorite show I've added this year is Sexetra. You remember Sexetra, Judd?
So I know why, because it was like quite informative, and there was like a weird and new cool thing every week.
Yeah, it was really good.
I was gonna say, why is that so much better than Base
Why don't you
Station?
describe
But no,
what
I
Sexetra
actually
is
know.
to people? Because I bet many people don't know what it is.
Sexetra was a sort of like adult-orientated show, where they'd explore new sort of like adult theme, like, but I mean adult themes.
Like
I mean in the sense of
stuff.
like, but they'd be like, here is a group in Amsterdam that all they do is like clown stuff, and like the
Clown episode really stood out. That's one we remember.
Yeah. But the thing is though, this was back in the day, because like now Clussy is quite a you know, people get a bit of a hunger for Clussy nowadays. Like they understand, which if you didn't know what that meant, it was a clown pussy for those of you that couldn't string the words together there. But,
yeah, I'm sure nobody put that together.
So now I think that's quite almost seen as like not a tame thing, but like a thing that's recognizable. But back in the day when Sexetra like came out, that was groundbreaking. Like we never have like,
and it was nuts that there was this show going investigating it.
Yeah,
and it was great. It was a perfect tone because they didn't shy away from the fact that this is weird and funny. Like they didn't.
Yeah.
They like fed into that, but also like genuinely like investigated and actually asked
this is
interesting
fantastic.
questions.
I'm
and
like,
stuff.
I don't know if it's anything that'd ever tickle my sort of fancy, but like, I don't know. I've seen them do it. I almost feel compelled. Like,
chat up. Those people are like directing shit at you. I'll send you the link to how you access chat. That's how you look at it. But yeah, Sexcetera. It's a great show. It's basically like hour-long documentaries on various different like sex themes and kinks and stuff. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It came out in 1998. Coming in at number 4, The Eric Andre Show. I watched all that this year.
The
80.
Eric Andre Show. Break stuff, Jake. Break the set. Break your entire set.
Yeah. I can afford to smash things. Yeah.
That's the bit. That's the whole bit.
That's what he does. The entire episode. In fact, I'm pretty sure there is an episode where he just does that for the whole episode. Yeah. I like the random nature of it. It feeds into my sensibilities. It gets a little bit too LolXD random sometimes, though, and it's really quite. And it's a bit annoying in the same way that Beavis and Butthead is sometimes, but it's a lot more well thought out. That's what Beavis and Butthead was teetering on the edge of. It really could have been more Eric Andre, but it ended up being Beavis and Butthead. I watched this so much that I used to watch it. Me and my girlfriend would go to bed, and I would have it on and be watching it, and she falls asleep immediately, and she falls asleep so easy. But I would have it on as she was sleeping, and it got to the point that if I didn't put it on, she was like, "What? Why is that like weird show you're watching?" Like she kind of couldn't fall asleep because she was too used to the raucous screams of what's the one that he says with the like the Mayo guy or something or Bird Up. That's Ranch and Bird Up, and you know all of those sorts of things.
Bird Up. Bom, bom, bom.
Number 3, Viva La Bam. This is such a good show. I really liked this. It's a bit tainted by legal troubles, let's say, but especially surrounding Don Vito and stuff like that. But I love it. I can't understand how this was so good as a spin-off of Jackass. It's just basically it was like YouTube before YouTube in that it was technically a reality show of Bam Margera's life, but it was obvious that they like planned stuff for each episode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like vlogging, but kind of like prank show, but it weren't necessarily a prank. It might be that they were going on an adventure. Like there was one where they go on a Europe road trip and they have to collect a bunch of shit from various like countries, like wine from Dracula's castle and like garlic from France or stuff like that. And it's all a hijink. It's so good. It's so like Anarchy and very early 2000s vibes to it. I love that show. And do you know what? The main problem with it for me is it's hard to find. It's hard to find anywhere now, that show. And I really like it. I genuinely might buy like a DVD box set of it or something like that on eBay because I don't want to miss out on being able to rewatch it because it's another one that's nostalgic. I like to watch it in the holidays. In at number 2... Little Britain. It was banned off Netflix. It's offensive dark comedy, and people need to lighten up. It's fucking dark comedy. Who gives a shit? Do you know what they needed to do? Do you know what people need to do rather than banning like dark comedy surrounding like because there was like some. Let's face it, it was racist and sexist stuff. Jokes. They should just do it about everyone. Like, do it about people like us and how gross and sweaty we are and things like that, South Park does it, Yeah.
They should just do more of that. That's just it, isn't it? It's like everybody sort of like wonders, what? How come South Park gets away with it? And it's like, well, fucking South Park does it to everybody. And also South Park is such like a staple in animation now. It's sort of one of those things that's like untouchable along with like Family Guy. But it's like they do it to everybody, and everybody finds it funny apart from the Muslims.
I think with God, no, that's a joke. Everyone, it's a joke.
That's not
just
a joke.
Like a South
that's
Park
factual.
Joke. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. No, he's literally trying to say it as a joke again. Shut the fuck up, Jen. Sometimes when we say jokes like that or whatever, I think like if someone discovers it, they'll be like, "Oh, you said this. Why would they started getting popular? If we ever did." They said, no, they said this and things like that. I'd be like, well, come on. It's like, why can someone like Family Guy say much worse stuff than we say and get away with it? It's like, what, just because they're already established? It don't make sense, you know? So, it's a shame that these two really funny shows, because my number one is Come Fly With Me, by the way, which is a parody of airports and stuff. It's basically Little Britain, but in an airport. And these are sketch comedy shows with a lot of like kind of dark humor, and it's reoccurring gags, but done in different ways, isn't it? For example, there's a computer, there's like a holiday rep woman who books your holidays where you want to go on holiday, and she types in a bunch of shit, and then she goes, computer says no. That's a thing that she says. That's a whole joke. That's the joke every time.
That's the bit. That's the joke.
But they do it in different ways, and it's funny.
That's the joke.
Yeah, they're great shows. Great shows. It's just a shame that they're kind of, the only commentary around them now is cancelled, you know? I liked them a lot. Anyway, let's go to Judd's favourites right now.
So that was your favourite, Little Britain?
Come Fly With Me.
This year?
I like it 1 point more than Little Britain. I think it's just a little bit funnier.
That's your favourite for this year?
That's the favourite thing I've added this year, yeah. I gave it an 83.
Really?
Yeah, I really like it.
That's your favourite this year?
That I've added this year, yeah. Yeah, what? Have you not? You've
sure?
not rated Come Fly With Me?
No, but like I thought you gave Cyberpunk Edgerunners like a 94 or like a 93 this year.
Oh, that's because this is just TV and not streaming.
Oh, it's streaming its own category. Okay,
it is.
All right, we'll do it.
It wasn't supposed to be. I will fully admit
that. Okay, because I'm like, this isn't fucking right. Like, there's got to be some.
But we'll do. We'll do streaming as its own category as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck. I didn't mean to do that. That's fine. We'll do streaming stuff as its own category. Judd's top TV shows. Okay, we're gonna go through them quick. Because we're probably more interested in getting to the streaming stuff. Archer is in at number 10 for Judd with a 69. Nice.
There you go.
Sexetra in at number 9. See, Sexetra's a good show. Taskmaster.
Did I also give that a 69? What did I give that?
70. You gave that 70.
I give it a 69. I feel like that needs to be 69. Okay, you can be joint with Archer.
Taskmaster, Judd, you gave 72.
Yeah, so, I like that one.
Yeah, Taskmaster's really good. I don't know why I didn't give that more. I feel like I should give that more. I'm going to give it 73. So that's now in my top 10. Judd, you gave Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom 75, you fucking paedophile.
Did I?
Yep, that's your number 7. Along with Mock the Week, which you gave 75.
Wait, can we back it up? Am I a nonce for that? Like,
there's a kids show. It's weird.
Yeah,
man.
I know, but like out of all of the kids shows, like I've been forced to watch, I feel like that's one of the funniest. Like, there's more jokes in that for adults than like anything else. It is.
I think it's a little noncy.
Okay.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you gave 75 to Mock the Week as well, which is your number 6. Little Britain, you gave 75, which is your number 5. Torchwood, we added, and you gave 78.
I watched some episodes of Torchwood again recently. Fuck, and that's a fucked show. Like,
how do you mean?
Like it's fucked up. I mean, like to say that it's part, like it's not. It's part of the whole Doctor Who thing, and I never say that Doctor Who was especially for kids, but it's fucked up. Like to say, like,
Fair.
Do you know what I mean?
You mean like violent or like gory or something?
I mean, it's like like violent, and it broaches some like fucked up subjects, like for what is attached to like a kid adjacent show.
Yeah. We're going to have to move on, Judd, because we're approaching an hour and we've only done TV.
Go on,
number 3 rated Eric Andre Show, 80. Makes a lot of sense, as we described. Sarah Jane Adventures, 85.
There it is, Sarah Jane Adventures.
I don't understand this. I gave it a 52. But I think I can give it 55. Actually, Sarah Jane, and then A Christmas Carol, a new entry. TV show came out in December 2019. Dark take on A Christmas Carol. I feel like is a decent
it's
right?
awesome. I feel like it's going to be like my regular watch, like every year. Because
I've added it to my list. I need to watch it.
The thing is because because it's such a dark take on A Christmas Carol, the ending sort of like message of like Scrooge like accepting Christmas and accepting his flaws that he had in his past and like moving on, it hits a lot harder because it goes a lot harder on like the shit that happened to him. So like it's less about him just, you know, because you watch the old sort of like A Christmas Carol stuff and it's more of him just getting over him being like a tight cunt, really.
Yeah.
But it's like there's some serious actual shit that he has to get over that happened to him that like explains why he is this sort of like fucked up guy. And I feel like it just tells that story a lot better.
It does sound good. I'm gonna watch it. So maybe that'll be on my list before the end of the year. Who knows? But you'll
really like this version of Scrooge as well because he is very well, he is the functioning type of autistic.
Great.
Yeah, I think you'll. That's literally me. This Scrooge quite a bit.
So overall, the top 10. I'm going to blaze through these again. Might do some brief comments on them, but we'll see. In at number 10 is Father Ted, overrated show. It's quite average. That gets a score of 77. Naruto is number 9.
Racist now.
Little Britain is number 8. House of Dragon is number 7, and that gets a 79. Judd rated it a 60. I've not even bothered watching it. If I watched it, I reckon it'd get tanked. Naruto Shippuden gets a 79 as well. And then I think we're at number 5, which is A Christmas Carol, which gets 80. Number 4, Seinfeld gets an 81. Number 3, Taskmaster gets an 82. Number 2, Eric Andre Show gets an 85. And the number 1 rated TV show overall, including Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and our score, is Derry Girls. What?
Oh, Derry Girls.
Derry Girls. I mean, I liked Derry Girls, and even I'm like, what? Oh, really? It was good, but
the critics
seriously?
really liked them some Derry Girls.
It gets an overall score of 86. I mean, I gave it 65. So I don't know. I guess watch Derry Girls. It is a good show, but it's like as good as Dead Pixels. You know, you might even prefer Dead Pixels. I'm not sure, but that's the TV. Weird. Anyway, streaming shows. Here we go. We're gonna do
this. This is more important.
We're gonna
nowadays,
do top 5s of streaming show because there's not as many of them. So we'll do top 5s. Right. So my bottom 5 streaming shows that I've added to the spreadsheet this year.
Go on then.
In at number 5, a massively overrated show. Hugely overrated.
Go on.
BoJack Horseman.
Oh my god, I hate you for this one. I love BoJack. I
you give it 68. Judd, it's just like
I'm gonna give it a 72.
Fuck.
Put it up to 72. I'm gonna give it a 72.
To start with, I got it. I understand. I got. No, it's not that I don't understand it either. I understand the point. That's what makes it worse. In that I understand what it's trying to do. I just think it's shit at doing it as well.
I just liked it. Well, fuck you, I liked it, so...
I get that, like, the intertwinement of sadness and comedy in a random whole scenario. It's not that, though. It's just fucking depressing. That's all it is.
What are you doing here?
It realised that when it intertwines like a dollop of sadness with a lot of its comedy, then it really hits hard for people and people really enjoy it. But now it just tries to depress people. Now it's just depression the show.
Well, I mean, it doesn't anymore. It's over, but...
Well, you know, after like halfway through season 2, maybe after maybe after just season 1, that's what they ended up doing. They just do that. It's just depression the show. That's why I gave it a 30 because it did start out really quite good and quite funny. But
30.
It's just
30, that's fucked up, Jay.
No, Judd, listen. After season 1, I know what you're
talking about. I get it. I don't think it is to the extent you're talking about, but I get where you're coming from. But even still, that's fucked up.
The show's fucked up.
It's yeah.
It's not enjoyable. It's like imagine,
wrong,
right? Imagine your mum's just died of cancer, right? And I come round to your house and go, "Your mum's died of cancer, hasn't she?" And you're like, "Yeah," and I'm going, "Yeah, I know. That's sad, that, 'cause your mum's dead, and you're never gonna see her again from a horrible disease."
What the fuck are you talking about?
That's what this show does. That's what it does.
Like that at all.
It's totally like that. That's all it does.
That's the worst example of anything I've ever heard. It
No,
doesn't
it's
do anything like that.
It
at
literally
all.
just literally just tries to
doesn't.
point out horrible stuff through life to you. That's it. That's all it's doing. It tries to play that as, oh, and and there's some comedy. I'm just pretending there is, but there's not.
But the horse talks, Jay!
I fucking hate that show.
If you don't like
Fucking
it, that's fine. I
stupid
just
show.
feel like 30's fucked up.
25. I've lowered it.
No, that's not fair. That is not a 25.
I remembered how much I fucking hate it. It's now moved to my number 4 most hated that I've ever put on this list. My new number 5 is Interior Design Masters, because they're not masters. They're not. They're just putting shit in a room. That's all they're doing. The contestants on the show don't fucking do anything. No, there isn't masters of it. The people who they tell to do stuff, like the joiners and the woodworkers and all of those people, those are the masters. And then the judges on that show, man, they always get it fucking wrong. They say some shit like, "Oh, it's really important not to overdo it on this design. If it's too flamboyant, that's going to mark them down." And they get in the most overdone, stupid fucking room, and they'll go, "This is amazing." I'm like, "Ah!" I hate it. It's horrible. Stupid show. That's been rated very badly overall. My number 3, with a 21, is Marvel's What If.
That sucked ass.
The stupid scenarios
That's
that
fucking
they
sucked ass.
did in that. I hated it. Nothing more to put, because it was the story. The story was just awful.
What if Black Panther was Star-Lord instead, and then for some reason everybody magically likes him? What the fuck are you talking
it's
about?
Like, oh, if Black Panther was Star-Lord,
about?
Thanos would be a good guy. No,
Thanos would go, "Oh, well, I didn't want to fight Star-Lord because he's black and I didn't want to be perceived as racist."
I know that's just that we're just joking on that again, just a joke, but it comes across as that. That's what the show really comes across as, and it's stupid. Okay, anyway, and I hate it because it's my favourite franchise as well, and it makes a mockery of like my favourite characters and things like that. Number 2, which is joint with that, I gave that 21, by the way. Number 2, I also gave 21. This is going to add another 10 minutes onto the podcast with how long it's going to take me to pronounce this title. The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window.
You know what? I hate this fucking show just because of the name. So,
you didn't see it, did you?
No, I didn't, but...
It's bad, man. Yeah. It's like, I don't know what it's even trying to do. It's like, I think it's a parody. It's like a parody of a show that's not even that... of a movie that's not even that popular.
It's not. It's not just like a movie though. It's like a whole sort of genre, isn't it? Like this sort of like murder mystery sort of thing that have these titles. That'd
be better. That would be better.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's based on one movie, and it's just sucks, man. It's one of those. There's not even much to say on it because I couldn't keep going. My least favorite show that I've added this year is It Cake? No, it's not cake. It's not.
None of it's cake.
Most of it's not cake. It's so fucking easy to tell if it's cake, Judd. It's so easy. They're like, "Oh, which one of these handbags is cake?" And I go, "That one." And it's like, "This one was the cake." It's like, "Yeah, I know." "Which one of these food items is cake?" It's that one. "It was the tacos." Yeah, I know. That's what I said. It's so boring! And the format sucks and everything. The presenter is insufferable on that show. He's one of these like, "Hey guys, welcome to another episode. Oh my gosh, I slipped on some cake today." You know that like, he's literally like a Family Guy parody of people like that.
Yeah.
Ow. Joking on cake. Right, but anyway. I'm so sorry, fucking hell. Anyway, Judd has only submitted 13 entries of streaming shows, so that's why we're only doing 5s for this. Oh my god!
Right.
What's happening? The cake is totally a lie. So Judd's least favourite 5 streaming shows. I'm having a heart attack. Ow. Coming in at number 5. Shout out to Ariman. He says hi. Hello. The Sandman, which he rated 43.
The Sandman. Is this these are my least favourites,
Yeah,
right?
these are Judd's least favourite streaming shows of this year. I fully understand 43. I give 62,
what the
but
fuck was up? Like, yeah.
Come on, you had something
Yeah.
that could have been decent
Yeah.
here, and you've kind of just been weird with it.
Yeah.
Apparently,
That's all I
Aryaman
gotta
is from
say
India.
about that,
Shout
like-
out to India. What do you want to say to India, Judd? Now, be careful.
India. I can't. What have you got to say about India?
They have a really nice flag. India flag,
I gotta
top tier.
I gotta say, like, I feel like out of all the other countries, I feel like India is the closest to, like, British, like, English, like, out of all the others. Because, look, like, what are the 2 things that England are known for, right? Tea, cricket. What are the 2 things that India are known for? Tea and cricket. So,
Okay,
you know...
you had to do one. You had to do one. Okay. I'm going to just move on. Judd's number 4, least favourite show he watched this year, Rings of Power. Yeah, it's bad.
It was ass. What? It was just ass.
I give it 40,
Like-
so it didn't quite sneak into mine, but yeah.
And here's the thing as well. I'm not one of these sort of like begrudging Lord of the Rings fans because I'll be honest with you, I was never super into Lord of the Rings. I never really liked it. So for me, I'm just looking at this from like a show standpoint. From a show standpoint, it fucking sucks ass.
I'm in the middle. I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but I do like it, and I still thought it was ass. Right?
Okay.
Cal, who we mentioned earlier in this podcast, huge Lord of the Rings fan, so he's the other end of the spectrum, and he thought it was ass. It was just a bad show. So, coming in at number 3, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Ooh.
Paradise PD. It's basically Brickleberry. Everything we said about Brickleberry earlier, it's the same. Judd gave it a 30. Judd's number 2, which he also gave a 30, Marvel What If.
Fuck it, it's just ass, innit? It's just
know,
ass.
like, why would you ever think those would be what if happens? Like, that is not what would happen if this. You got it wrong.
The thing is, it's like, what if? So first of all, it's an if situation. So it's like I shouldn't care. I don't have to care because it's not. Oh, what is? It's what if. So there's your first problem.
Judd's already pissed off Aryaman. You people only think about the poverty when it comes to India. No, we don't.
I don't. I think of the immense social disparity.
No, he's joking. He's joking. This is a joke. The first things we mentioned were tea and cricket. It was. Oh God. Anyway, I'm moving on. I'm not letting Judd insult India anymore. I love India. Okay, he's not pissed. Thank God. Thank God, he understands. Okay, we love you. Okay. Thank you for being here. I don't actually know if that's a male or female name, or neither. Oh God, we're all stepping into it even more.
Oh God, damn it!
Just come to India. I would love to come to India. We should do we should go to India and do an India special. That would be great. And that's it. Judd's not allowed to comment. His least favourite.
What do you mean? I want to do an Indian special. I want to go to India. I want to go to fucking. I don't know. I was going to say a city in India. I don't know.
You don't know any cities in India, do you?
I don't know. No.
See, this is why we need to go. We need to learn about India.
Bangladesh, but I don't know if Bangladesh is in India.
I don't think it is.
I don't feel like it is.
we need to go. Apparently, we need to go and learn some fucking culture. We should do that. Well, anyway, Judd's least favourite streaming show that he's added to our spreadsheet this year is Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is given 23.
It was fucking ass. It added nothing and only fucking pissed me off.
I just didn't even try. I've given up on Star Wars now, which was quite ironic. My God, what's wrong with me? Which was quite ironic when my dad gave me a Star Wars t-shirt for a present for Christmas this year. One of the only presents I got. Yeah. I opened it, I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, Star Wars, yeah.
Anyway, let's look at Judd's favourite 5 streaming shows of this year. That's been added to the spreadsheet. In at number 5 is BoJack Horseman.
Yeah!
It sucks. It's bad. Don't get it.
It's great. It tells a very real story of an actor sort of
no, it doesn't.
not being able to relive his
In at number 4
glory
for
days.
Judd, which gets a 77, is Moon Knight.
I liked Moonlight. I really like Moonlight.
Smiling Friends is number 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's got one of my favorite internet boys ever, Psychic Pebbles, in it, and yeah, it's very funny. And I'm very happy that he has some sort of mainstream attention.
I'm happy that it's gone well. I'm pretty sure it's gone quite well. It's weird because the episodes are short. They're a lot shorter than most people are used to. They're only like 10 minutes long, aren't they? But that
they're
really
like
works
20,
for the vibe of it.
like,
they're not 20. They're definitely like 10 to 12 minutes. They're definitely shorter than 20. Because 20 is like a normal episode length, with including adverts and things like that. But they're really short. Number 2, Better Call Saul.
It was awesome. A lot of people have said, "Oh my god, it's better than Breaking Bad." It's not.
It's not going to be. I can just tell it's not.
But it is good. It's very, very good. Vince Gilligan does it again. You know what he do. You know what that Vince Gilligan do.
I feel like that's like the only thing he does.
What good? He just does it good.
No, like that guy, Saul. He is Saul.
Number 1, you mean yeah, okay.
Judd's favourite thing is added. Streaming thing is added to the spreadsheet with a 93 is Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Not surprising at all. We're kind of blasting through these, but again, if you have any more thoughts, tweet at tweetsbadly. And also tell us where we should go in India if we ever manage to get there. That would be great. My top 5 streaming shows. Put your dick away, Walter. Okay, Ben.
Put your dick away, Walter.
My number 5 of my favourite streaming shows is the Jeffrey Dahmer show. It was fucking intense. It was really scary. Did you end up watching that?
I watched the first episode with my nan. Nothing really bad happens in the first episode, does it? Like I know worse stuff happens. Like, and my nan was already like, I don't know if I can watch this, so I might have to end up watching that on my own at some point.
I think you would really like it.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is Miss Marvel. It's pretty fun. I liked it.
Is she Indian in that?
No, she's from that area of the world, or her family is. I think it might be Pakistan they're from. I'm not sure, but
I thought it was India in the comics.
No, I don't know. I don't really know, but it's that neck of the woods. Where is Kamala Khan from? Jersey. She's from Jersey City in America. I know she's from there. No, she's Pakistani American.
Fine,
so
Marvel, I'll give you that one.
Family's from Pakistan. Yeah. So
I feel like Google said that like with like its hands on its hips, like you goddamn racist. She's from.
They knew what we meant. You can't get it right. Anyway, my number 3 was Moon Knight. I fucking loved Moon Knight. It was really good. I gave it 87. It got a little bit wishy-washy at the end, but I really liked it. My number 2, Smiling Friends, with 88. I like Smiling Friends more than you. It's like such my comedy. I love it a lot. And then number 1 for streaming shows for me was Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Yeah.
Can we talk
about how awesome Cyberpunk's Edge Runners
was? It's beautiful. Like, the animation is gorgeous, the drawings and everything. The biggest detriment is it's a bit over the top sometimes. It's a little bit over dramatic.
It's anime though, isn't it? It's like
that's why it gets away with it more. But even for anime, it's like when I consider how long I've spent with these characters.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
the thing is though, and the thing is, anime and cyberpunk, like the whole cyberpunk ideas, go so hand in hand with each other because both both are incredibly over the top. Like even when you look back on the old Cyberpunk RPG systems, because I've been reading not Cyberpunk Red, Cyberpunk 2020, which was the original sort of like Cyberpunk RPG tabletop system. When you read that and you read its first rules, it's like role playing in Cyberpunk. Everything has to be over the top, and you have to be grandiose in everything. Like it literally uses like characters like Han Solo as a reference, where you have to be like this sort of like, yeah, I'm on top of the whole world sort of like character, and you have to be sort of like, you know, so those I think the over the top
the
nature
two
really
concepts
sort
just
of lands,
worked really well, didn't they? I think the execution was great. The characters. Everything it did what Game of Thrones did well at the start with how brutal and fuck you it was with the characters in the story. It doesn't give a fuck. The thing is,
no characters die. Like fucking characters die in that show.
I think it should be a one-shot season. I don't see any reason to have any more.
No, never go back. Never go back to it. That's it.
Because only see that score going down over time, if anything.
Yeah, because. Another thing that happened, I feel like this is a bit of a spoiler, so spoilers for Cyberpunk Edge Runners, is stories in Night City don't have a good ending because it's in Night City. That's the point. It's like I tie it quite a lot to Lovecraftian stories because the whole thing with Lovecraftian stories is that there's never a good ending. The protagonist at best comes out with his mind shattered from the ordeal. They might
survive, but
like at what cost?
Yeah,
and it's the exact same thing with Cyberpunk. Any Cyberpunk stories, it's like. You don't have these Night City legends that come out at the end of it and they made bank and they've got all the eddies in the world and they fucking never have to worry about anything. It doesn't happen. Because like they say in the show, edge runners aren't remembered by how they live, they're remembered by how they die. So all these stories end up with either the people dead or their minds fucking ruined through cyberpsychosis.
And this the whole point of saying this is it's a reason never to go back too much to that universe because it's got to end badly, and if it doesn't end badly, it ruins everything else.
Yeah.
So it's got to end badly all the time, so if you keep going back to it, you're going to know it ends badly all the time. You know? Ends
badly. Ends badly.
So I think the Cyberpunk universe, if they're going to do anything else with it, one more game. And that's it. No more anything to do with it.
I don't even think any more games. They just need to keep doing the DLC. Have you seen that Idris Elba's going to be in the next Cyberpunk DLC? By the way,
no, I'm not going to play that shit.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like super for that now for the Cyberpunk game because you know how like Keanu was.
No, you're going fucking mental. I fucking hated Keanu being in it as well. No, stop it.
Listen. I feel like. This should be the one exception where that happens because it's already happened. Because it's already happened.
No, that doesn't mean it's okay to do it more. That means it's just more shit.
I think Idris Elba's going to be in the next
one.
That
just means
we're the one after that is going to be Jack Black.
No, it's so stupid. I hate real life people. I hate so much. I'm being an Italian grandma on the camera right now. I hate like real life people being in video games so much. I hate it. It's mostly familiar faces. If you've no clue who they are, but they've just used a reference model, then that's nowhere near as bad. But when it's like Keanu Reeves is like I forget the guy's actual name, Johnny Wolf or some bullshit. I can't remember. Silver Dude is his name. Is it Johnny Silver? Is that what it is?
No, just call him Johnny Silver, dude, please.
Is it Johnny Silver? Is that what it is?
It's Johnny Silverhand.
Johnny Silverhand, right.
You were close enough,
who fucking
but I like Johnny
Silver, I call it Keanu
dude.
Reeves the whole time. It's like in Call of Duty, I call him Kevin Spacey, because he is. It's stupid. I hate that. Anyway, we're moving on. Worst 5 shows overall, including Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb ratings. We've got Paradise PD with 50, The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window with 48, Snowflake Mountain with 45. Do you remember that? Do you remember when I told you about
you
Snowflake
told
Mountain?
me. You told me about this.
That was kind of funny. The first like 15 minutes of that show, they blow up all their luggage, and we're talking like $5,000 plus worth of luggage.
Oh yeah,
kid.
it was the reality. It was the reality show thing you were talking about. Yeah,
It got kind of annoying after that, but. Then in at number 2, we've got Is It Cake with 44, and Interior Design Masters gets a 36 overall. Just to shout out Snowflake Mountain, which Rotten Tomatoes critics gave a 0 out of 100. Top 5 overall, according to everyone. Moon Knight is at number 5. Hawkeye is number 4. Weird.
oh.
I got quite a lot.
Ew.
Smiling Friends, number 3. I'm glad everyone agrees that it's great. Better Call Saul comes in at number 2 with 92, and Cyberpunk Edge Runners gets a 93. I believe Cyberpunk Edge Runners is the second highest rated thing that we've ever rated.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Right. Should we do movies next, Judd?
Do it.
This is a long-ass podcast, this one. We've done an hour and 20 minutes, and we're about a third of the way through. Fucking
It'll
hell.
be 2. It'll be 2 hours. This one.
Stick around with us, folks. It's worth it. We don't do this very often, so should we do top 10 movies?
Yeah, I feel like that. I think there's been
We'll
enough
try and
this
brush
year, maybe.
past a lot of them quickly, because a lot of them probably not got much to talk about. So my number 10 least favourite movie that I've added to the spreadsheet this year.
It's Dune.
No, Dune's not going to
Oh.
be on here. That was last year as well.
Oh
anyway, I
wow.
think.
Okay. Oh, alright,
Because
fair enough.
Dune I gave a 40. I didn't like Dune, the movie, but it's not that bad. So How to Be Single, I gave 30. I don't really
Okay.
remember it. I don't. It was probably some sort of rom-com of some kind.
It sounds it.
It
It
wasn't
sounds
great.
the type.
The French Dispatch, 25. This was like
Is that what's his face, the one who does the fancy
Wes
movies
Anderson.
that everybody? Yeah, there you go. Wes Anderson who I was talking about.
he's one
yeah.
of all these prestigious artsy directors. They tend to be fucking terrible. And it was just crap. I mean, it was almost like an anthology, but it was so like. It was weird because it was like confusing and also not. Like, I get what it was supposed to be. It was kind of like supposed to be a bunch of stories from this magazine thing that this guy had done, and there's other stuff behind that. There's more lore to that, but it was supposed to be from that. But were they? I don't know. It didn't fully come across as that, and oh man, it just sucked. I don't know what to tell you. It was one of those overly artsy bullshit things. At the end of the day, that's what it
Yeah.
was. 25. Next, number 8, least favourite movie that I've added this year, Godmothered. I gave that 25. It's boring. It's about a fairy godmother in training, but people don't ask for help from fairy godmothers anymore, and she finally finds a request for a fairy godmother from a child from years and years ago, but then she goes to try to do it, and she's all grown up, this woman, and at that point, I was too bored to even fucking care. 25. It just sucked.
Okay.
It's just, the CGI in that was absolutely shocking for a movie that came out in 2020. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. In at number 7, Halloween Town. God, that movie sucks, man. Halloween Town's bad. It's just terrible. I don't know what to tell you. It was like, you know those really shitty Nickelodeon movies that you get?
Yeah.
They're just awful. The story's just non-existent, basically, and it's all like even like the costume design and the set design and everything. No, I didn't like it. I bet that's quite a controversial one. I think some people tend to like that. Ben said, French, ew.
Ben!
Yikes, poor French.
I know what you mean, though.
Another one that I added this year, which will be my number 6, is Nope. It's the best
Nope.
of the Jordan Peele. Oh wait, no. It's one of I'm thinking of Us. No, Nope is the new one that's got like the ranch setting and all that.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is going to be controversial as well. I hate that director. His movies suck. They're so bad.
You feel like that's a controversial thing, and I feel that's more of like a not 50-50 thing, more like a I'd give that like a 75, 20.
I think most people are
thing, but,
starting
like-
to realise that he's probably not as good as everyone were thinking to start with.
Yeah. I just don't think that's as controversial as you think it is. I
Maybe.
feel like the general person would go, what? But like, I don't think it's, as bad as you think
Well,
it
I
is.
reckon they'd probably say, I thought it were really good.
I really
You know,
like
not
that.
like, that is shocking. It
Yeah.
would be like that. But I
Yeah.
thought it were really
yeah,
good.
yeah.
But the thing is, as soon as you ask anyone like that to say, oh, well, why did you think it were good then? No answer. No answer. They'd be like, I just enjoyed it. Why did you enjoy it? I just did. No. Nah, that's not how things work, man. You can't just
Yeah.
like something.
You
'cause
need
like
to
it.
listen. You need to submit why you like that in writing. At least it has to be at least 1,000 words. It needs to be in any font apart from Comic Sans.
I didn't like that movie. There was lots of reasons. It's hard to say why I didn't like stuff like this so much because I don't want to think about it anymore. So I kind of like put it in the past, you know? So it's hard to remember. But anyway, speaking of one that I hated, number 5, Matrix Resurrections. Fuck me, that was awful. I went to the movies to watch this with my mum because she loves Keanu. She loves him in The Matrix a lot.
Was this year? I thought this was like 3 years ago. What the fuck?
No, it was in January this year, so it was
Oh,
early.
okay.
But fuck me, that's terrible. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no fucking sense at all.
I was never a huge fan of The Matrix, but Tom, who is my friend, is a huge fan of The Matrix, and he was like, "You got to come see this movie with me. You've got to." And I was never too bothered, so I was always like, "Yeah, we'll do it on like such and such a date." But because he's such a huge fan of The Matrix, he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go see it like beforehand, before we go see it together."
Yeah.
And he went to go see it, and he went, "Just don't fucking bother." It was like fucking atrocious. It was like,
awful. I didn't want to say to my mum coming out of it, but I said to her, "Look, you might have liked it, I don't know, but that was one of the worst things I've ever seen." It's terrible. I give it 20. It makes no sense. At least it's like Matrix Universe and things like that. But a lot of it makes no fucking sense at all. And it's goofy as hell in certain points, and not even in like a good way, like certain points of the old Matrix films were. It's just trash. There's 4 more worse than that, by the way. So in at number 4 for me is a movie called Big Bug. I think it's a foreign film. I think it might be Canadian, French Canadian or something. It's like a bit of like a weird 2000s style dystopian future.
Yeah.
It just was awful. It was so like, it felt like a chore to get through that. I watched 25 minutes of it. No, really bad. Then we've got Licorice Pizza. I saw this at the cinema, at like this old-timey cinema we've got near us. Oh my god, it was so long.
What is that? Because like Licorice Pizza, that sounds to me like it's trying to be an avant-garde kind of film.
It's a perfect title, Judd, because it makes as much sense as the movie made. It's got literally nothing to do with that film.
Yeah.
It's just 2 words. It may as well have just been a random word generator. It's a movie set in the 70s about this teacher who ends up getting together with this student who...
Okay.
But she looks like she's 15, and this student's like 14, but he's also trying to be an entrepreneur. And then he starts various businesses, and they meet people, and nothing really happens. I don't know, just nothing really happens. They kind of... Sometimes they're together, sometimes they're not.
Licorice Pizza reminds me of Clockwork Orange in the sense that it's... I know that the whole naming nomenclature for Clockwork Orange was it was supposed to be 2 concepts that like are completely opposed to each other, and I'm not going to go into the whole reason why he did that, but that it feels like they were trying to do a... From the name alone, it sounds like they were trying to do a Clockwork Orange thing. So
it's
I don't know how
it's not like that. It's like a period piece. Okay. It's like a 70s set thing, and
I don't know them, but
again, we're in a category of movie where it's just so hard to describe why it's so bad, other than saying just everything. The main thing is it just makes no sense. It's just like the story's crap, and it's like when we try and describe the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. one of our least favorite movies ever. How would you even describe that to someone? It's just bad.
You can't fuck it. It just sucks ass.
It doesn't make any sense.
Don't
know what the fuck's going on.
Johnny Depp was in it, I think.
In at number 2 for me of least favorite movies I've added this year, I tried to watch The Fountain.
I don't know that one.
You heard of this? It's got Hugh Jackman in it.
Huge jacked man.
I don't know what the story is. This one is very similar to Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, Judd, in how it plays out. It's so wacky and batshit. I think maybe it's to do with this man's wife who's dying of a mysterious illness and he's trying to cure it, and she's kind of writing a book at the same time. But sometimes you're in the book, sometimes you're in him curing a cancer, and sometimes you're in this space void with a bubble that he's sat in and he's got a bald head, and this other guy turns up sometimes. There's also a tree that he plucks bits off. I don't fucking know. It's so weird. It's so strange, and it's so terrible. But the worst movie that I've added this year is a movie called Friendsgiving. It's like a not rom-com, because it's not romance necessarily. But kind of comedy. But there's 0 points where it's funny. And it's so bland and shot really badly. And all the acting's terrible. And it's like a bad student film. Hated it. 13. It was pissing me off by the end of it. Oh, that's another one where all the characters are insufferable. Like in Archer, at least like they animate it well, and you know the jokes could land for some people or whatever. But I hate all the characters, and I never want to spend any time with them. This, none of that landed well, and I hated every single character in it. That's that. Should we do your least favorite?
Go on then. I can't even. Go on. Do it.
Oh my god, I can't. Some of these are going to be shocking. So, Judd's. In at number 10 for Judd, for his least favourite movies added to this spreadsheet this year, is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which he gave a 58.
Yeah, it's just one of those, and it's like I'm not gonna like shit talk it at all. It's just one of those. Yeah, scary dinos. I could sit there with like my pizza and eat a movie about watch a movie about scary dinos. Eat a movie about scary dinos.
I think that's pretty standard movie. In at number 9 for Judd, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. This is a good student film, unlike Friendsgiving.
Yeah, I'm not too bothered. Like. It's just one of them that people go, oh, it's a classic. It's a classic. You gotta watch that.
It's not even his best. It's not even Guy Ritchie's best one. Snatch is better than it.
Why do I got to watch that? I don't got to watch jack shit, biatch.
In at number 8 for Judd, is a movie called Anna. You gave her 53? Do you remember that?
I cannot even remember this.
You slightly liked it.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, no, it was that the one about the Russian... She was Russian and she ended up being a spy for some reason. Yeah,
probably.
I know. Yeah, it was whatever. Like, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good? You gave it 53. That's a tiny bit better than average.
Yeah, I'll stick at 53.
Okay, fair enough. For some reason... Coming in at 7 for Judd, Freaky Friday with a 48. That's not fair. Freaky Friday is a fun movie. It's the one where Lindsay Lohan and fucking what's her face from Christmas with the Cranks swap bodies. What's her name? Cheryl? No, what's her name? What's her face? She's from Halloween as well.
Is it the one where it's Is it the one where the rich girl swaps it with the street girl?
No! Wait, what the fuck is her name? Jamie Lee Curtis. Lindsay Lohan swaps bodies with her mum, Jamie Lee Curtis. And they have to live in each other's bodies for a bit, and it's fun. There's
so many like body swap movies that I'm just gonna leave.
That's the one. That's the good one.
I'm just gonna leave it at that because like they're all the same.
Fair enough. Well, number 6 worst movie that Judd's added to this spreadsheet with a score of 43 is Meet the Spartans.
Yeah,
it's a bad movie, but I gave it 60 because I got a soft spot for it.
Why did you give it whatever? Whatever.
I know it's bad.
Give it 60. It's fine.
I know in general it is bad, but I personally just find that funny.
You rate that higher than BoJack Horseman is like bizarre.
How stupid it is makes me laugh. How stupid and bad that movie is makes me laugh. BoJack Horseman I'll watch and I actually genuinely feel depressed. So I fucking hate it for that. Anyway, next, Judd's number 5 is Resident Evil Extinction, which I think is the third one?
Yeah, that's the third one. I just can't remember it. At least I remember Nemesis. Like, I remember the best part about that is because like it does such a disservice to like the whole Resident Evil thing. Because like I mean, first of all, it wasn't like a whole. You can't draw a whole lot of. You can't draw a whole lot of blood from the stone that is Resident Evil, if you get me, you know? Like, you're not gonna get a lot of good shit out of that, but they did such a disservice to it that it makes it funny. Yeah. Like, there's a whole bit where, like, Nemesis rocks up, and to explain what Nemesis is to you, he's, like, this dude that this, like, evil corporation called the Umbrella Corporation has taken, and they've, like, done weird fucked up splicing genetic shit on him to make him, like, the perfect, like, monster super soldier. And they've like give him like a minigun and a rocket launcher on top of this just to make him extra like fucking nasty. But he wipes out this whole police station, and then because this is a film from a certain era, you have to have a black man that is the comedy relief. You know you do. You have
in
to.
In that era, film. They always did that, didn't they? We're not saying we condone that. I don't know.
But back in the day, from the whole 90s to I'd say from like later noughties, you had to have a funny black guy. You just had to.
80s,
it was
all the way up to 2006.
Yeah. So the funny black guy was like stood there and he like emptied 2 whole clips into this Nemesis guy. And this Nemesis guy's only programmed to shoot at like some certain people. So he like shoots everybody else apart from this black guy with these like 2 Glocks. And he walks right up to this black guy and he's like looking up at this Nemesis dude like, oh shit. And it's just really funny because it's like this Nemesis dude. It's like to me because I played Resident Evil Nemesis especially a lot. That was my favorite one. He's like a Darth Vader kind of guy.
Yeah.
To have this stereotypical like comedy relief black guy like looking up at like essentially Darth Vader going like, oh shit, like it's like really funny. But yeah, whatever. It still belongs on the rating that it got, but
Nemesis was in the second one, not the third one, right?
Yeah, he was. So I just wanted to go on a whole tangent about how funny I thought.
So Judd get rated Nope at 42, which is his 4th least favorite of the year. Again, it's not a good movie. He's not a good director. Really isn't. There's just not much to say on it again because it just isn't great. The story. Anyway, number 3, Judd's least favorite is Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, not a good one.
I don't get your hate on that one. I gave it a 62, which is close to the average for
because
that.
Because aliens all of a sudden. Well, like why? Why did they do that?
Because it ties into a real world actual theories and things like that. I think that.
I know, but.
I didn't mind it much. It's not my favourite one, but
I suppose they had Nazis having their face melted off by like weird boxers, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, weirdly, oh no, this does make sense actually. Judd's second worst movie that he rated in 2022 is The King's Man.
Yeah, it fucking sucked ass.
It's the latest Kingsman movie. They decided to do a prequel for some reason. I don't know why they did that. And he was bad. It was really bad. Yeah. It was like Dune in that technically a lot of it was
talk
good.
Talk about how shit this movie was while I run for a piss.
He's pissing again. I know it's been a long podcast, but holy shit. That's 3 pisses within like 2 hours. It technically is good. The action and things like that, and some of the acting's good. But again, like, it's the story. It's when the story's fucked, it can never be rated well. It's like, again, it's hard to specifically describe why the story's bad because we've not seen it in such a long time. So it's hard to like remember what bits of the story was so bad, but I just know it was. Do you agree with that? In that, like, sometimes
I can't even
when
remember what movie we're talking.
The King's Man. When you're
No.
hating on something, and it's like, oh well, why is it so bad? Is kind of the question.
Yeah.
It's like, well, the story sucks. Why? Well, I can't remember because it was bad, so I don't want to remember it. And also, like, I can't remember every moment of that story. I just remember that it was bad. You know?
I can tell you why. It's because they had. They like set up this character as the main character, and then they killed him off for a really stupid fucking reason. I'm not going to say why because spoilers, but they kill off.
Yeah, just remembered.
They kill off the main character for a really, really stupid fucking reason, which I think they obviously intended to be like oh, I can't believe he died for such a stupid reason. But instead of it being like whoa, I can't believe he died for such a stupid reason, it's I can't believe he died for such a stupid fucking reason. And like it just drags it down. And then the main villains get found out, like, where their main bad guy base is for such an incredibly stupid fucking reason. And everywhere you look, like this whole... Every time that like some sort of like major bad guy or major good guy who's supposed to be some sort of like major player in whatever field gets like fucked over or found out, every time you sort of go... Well, that's a real stupid fucking reason to find this guy out for. Like,
it's
it
the
doesn't
story,
make any
isn't
sense.
it? It's like, as it happens, as they present it, the shots, the action of how it all happens is good. Really good, actually. But it's like, the scenario, it's like, what the fuck is... What?
Yeah.
That's the reaction to everything. It's again, I still think it's a hard thing to describe.
It also, I couldn't tell if it was a comedy in certain places or if it was like a drama.
It's meant to be both, isn't it? It's meant to be like an action comedy.
They made this Rasputin character, and I say they made this Rasputin character as if Rasputin wasn't some sort of like already existing ideological figure, but they made a Putin character. Rasputin, Jesus. They made a Rasputin character. And they made him extremely camp and extremely, like, comedic. I'm not going to say funny because I personally didn't find him funny. They made him comedic in the sense that they were trying to be funny. But the movie up until this point had been so straight edge and, like, not funny in the way they were trying to make this character funny.
It's pissing me off thinking about it.
It was just, it was
it's
just
really
a
annoying
bad
because
scene.
it's such a departure from such a good franchise. I don't know why they thought, let's do a prequel now. Why did they think that in the first place? Just the initial idea isn't a good idea. I thought that when they came out with the announcement trailer. I thought, what? I thought we'd have like another movie in the trilogy of what we got. Because we had Kingsman 1, Kingsman 2, and Kingsman... No, a prequel. Oh, okay. That's what you do when you're running out of ideas in a franchise. Not at like the third one. Anyway, Morbius was Judd's least favourite movie of the year, which he gave a 30.
It's Morbin time.
Not a surprise.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
I tried to get through that movie twice, and I failed both times. I still gave it a 37. I still thought that at least, like, that had a bad story, and a lot of things were bad about it, but it at least made sense. It at least made sense what the story was. It wasn't good, but I could see why it was happening. Overall, then, for movies, the worst 10 are, that were added to this spreadsheet, in at number 10 with a score of 37, Inspector Gadget, the movie. Very weird that Judd forgets about this movie because he watched it all the fucking time when he was a kid.
I can't even remember a single scene.
None of these Judd's rated, by the way. In at number 9, we've got Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen with a score of 37. Number 8, we've got He's All That with a score of 35. In at number 7, is that the next number? American Pie Girls Rules. With 35. 6 is Me Time. Again, I've rated that, can't remember what it fucking is, with a score of 34. In at number 5 is The Snowman. Do you not remember that one? The one that's like got Michael Fassbender in it, and it's like a horror. It's like a a Scandi noir horror thing. Not,
I don't
like
know
a
that one.
detective
No.
thing. We went to the
I never
cinema to
watched
watch
it.
it.
Yeah, we didn't. You said
totally-
that. I
we
remember
totally
you saying
fucking
this.
did.
I
You're
did
actually
not
pissing
go
me
with
off
you
again.
to see
We
this
totally
movie.
fucking went to see it. We
I
all went to
didn't.
see it. We
I
definitely did,
didn't.
and Natalie picked it. We definitely did. You
I
just can't
didn't
fucking
go- I
remember it
didn't.
because your brain's been melted by various drugs. Anyway, in at number 4 overall ratings with a score of 33 is Date Movie. This is one of those scary movie type ones. In at number 3 is The Wicker Man. Do you know what? I swear to God, I watched that entire movie, and I swear it's the one where Nicolas Cage goes, "The bees, not the bees." I swear it's
it is
I
the one
never
where
saw
he
it in
says
that
the
entire
bees.
movie. I never saw it.
Because they pour it, because they're about to sacrifice him, and they throw chuck the bees in his hand.
I
and he goes,
know,
"Not the bees."
but I watched it. I watched it, and I specifically looked for that scene, and I didn't see them pour the bees. I didn't see him do it. Maybe it's just some Mandela effect or something. I don't know. But in at number 2 is Friendsgiving with 25, and the worst movie that's been added to this spreadsheet this year is Disaster Movie. It's another one of those scary movie ones. Shout out to that, getting a score of 1 from Rotten Tomatoes critics. I
In
give it 48.
2006, Cage starred in a remake of 1973 horror film The Wicker Man, playing a policeman named. It is.
Listen, I think
it was
it's
an
Mandela effect.
parodied line, not the. It wasn't part of the script or anything. He said it. He knew he could spice up the movie by saying "not the bees."
I didn't see the scene. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, they did. Well, that's what he did.
Right. Anyway, we're moving on to video games now. This is the last bit. We are going to break 2 hours.
Sorry, I just got to really quickly, whilst we're here, I've got to throw in my rating for High on Life whilst we're here.
Oh, because it might make
it might alter something.
Okay,
maybe.
right. High
Okay.
on Life. What would you rate High
Okay.
on Life?
It ended up being 60.
60. I don't think that's
Yeah.
going to alter anything.
No.
Fair enough. I'll put it on there, but so that was
It just ends. It just ends. It just
Okay.
ends.
So,
Just-
should we do my least favorite that I added this year?
Yeah. Sure.
There's going to be a lot of bad stuff on here because I've been playing through a lot of old video games, so they tend to be quite bad. So, in at number 10, a game that I actually didn't think was that bad for an old video game, Yoshi's Island. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. I gave it a 40. It's not a very hard platformer, for once, for an old game, which was nice, but it was too long. And I don't think platforming's a good genre in general. So, other than that, it was just a little bit boring, I think, overall. Number 9, Breakout. You know Breakout. It's just Breakout. I don't really... Nothing to say about it. It's the one where you bounce the ball back. 39. I guess it's fun, but it's,
Okay.
again,
I don't
quite
know
boring.
Breakout.
Yeah, you do. The one where you've got a little bar at the bottom. Bounce
Oh,
the ball.
yeah, okay.
It's that one.
Yeah.
It's literally
Yeah.
like Pong level. It's-
Yeah. Yeah.
Worse than that, I would literally rather play 40 hours worth of Breakout than this game. Far Cry 6 gets a 37. I literally
Okay.
did half a podcast on why I don't like Far Cry 6, so just look back on that if you want to know why. Judd gave it a 50. Judd thinks it's an average game. It's not. It's not.
You
It's
know
bad.
what? I put that down to like a 43 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No good.
So we've got, what's that? 10, 9, 8, 7. In at 7 for me, with a big dip to 23, is the classic game Adventure. Now, talk about not making any fucking sense and being so
Yeah.
frustrating. This game is just nuts. You're just going to have to look it up, to be honest. It's indescribable. In fact, there's a video on the Streams Badly YouTube channel that we did on this, and well, that I did on this. But Judd doesn't do anything when it comes to this channel. What was it called? Let me look this up, because it's one of my favorite videos I've done in the series where I played all the best-selling games of every year. I'm still doing that. It's called "This Game Melted My Brain," and there's a thumbnail of me looking like my brain's melting. I'm like going, and it did. That's how fucking ridiculous and frustrating that game is. Next, something that I like even less. I give it a score of 20. Missile Command, extremely hard to control. It's just a high score game. It's boring. I'd rather play Adventure because at least that's wacky and weird. Next, we have my number 5 least favourite game. I've also given it a 20 out of 100. Donkey Kong Country. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. Fuck hard platformer games. Any game, right, that goes the end at the end and then does a fucking jump scare and kills you and makes you have to restart the whole boss after all the fucking time again. No! No! Bad game. Stop it! You literally gave me heart problems, for fuck's sake. It's so annoying because it lulls you into false sense of security, like, oh, isn't this fun? The music's cool. Oh, innovative graphics. Lots of different gameplay for a platformer. This is fun, isn't it? It's not too hard either. Yeah, this is nice. Then you get about, maybe a fifth of the way in, it's like, fuck you! And then you're like, dead. So, yeah. But those things I mentioned start with, where it lulls you in, at least those are kind of nice. But that's it. In at number 4, a game that doesn't have any of that. It's just like, fuck you, this is way too hard. Super Mario World. Fuck Mario. Fuck Mario. I don't know how Mario has managed to become such like a popular mascot, because his games fucking suck. They suck. They're stupidly hard. They're not enjoyable at all, because all you end up doing is playing the same sequence over and over and over and over and over again, because you're dying again. Sorry, I just need a brief break. In at number 3, also with a score of 10 from me, is the game Pitfall. Fucking Pitfall! It's worse. I'm giving. Is it worse than no? I'm gonna give Mario World 11 because Pitfall's worse. It looks worse, right? It handles worse. Oh, by the way, Mario doesn't handle well. Anyone who thinks he does is stupid. Where's Sonic? Sonic should be on here somewhere. Sonic. Wait, let me just... this is my ADHD coming into play. Sonic. Where's Sonic? Sonic isn't on here for some reason, but I don't think it'd qualify, because... Anyway. Probably would, actually. I think there's a problem. Shout out to Sonic the Hedgehog, the original one of those. That sucks as well. Again, it's in that same series, because I think I just forgot to add the date onto that. Anyway, Pitfall, it controls terribly. It's basically kind of like a high score game, and you're supposed to collect like treasure, and there's a bunch of treasure in the game that you're supposed to collect within the time limit, and you've only got a certain amount of lives to do it with. But it's so hard to collect all of them, and that's basically the only objective that's worth even doing. So it's another one that's hard to describe. You'd have to play it to find out. Super Mario Bros. 3, even harder. It's just terrible. It looks worse than Mario World, and it's even harder. 9. My least favorite game I've played this year and added to this spreadsheet is Zelda 2: The Legend of Link. Speaking of hard, this game. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Okay.
I refuse to believe anyone's ever completed this legitimately. There's no fucking way. There's no way. It's the most trash controls. The enemies are named stupid shite. It's literally... This is going to be so controversial, because I reckon Zelda 2 is going to be some people's favourite game, and people fucking bum over this franchise. Zelda. I've never played a good Zelda game.
Damn.
Never. I've never even seen a Zelda game that I thought I might like. Fuck Zelda. Fuck Mario.
Not even
fuck
Breath
Nintendo
of the Wild?
in general, to be fair. No, because have you seen some of the stupid systems in Breath of the Wild? And I'm the type of person who wants to know where to go.
I don't care enough to have looked, but...
Look, I could go on for ages as to why I hate Zelda 2, but again, I've made a full video on it on the Streams Badly YouTube channel. I think it's called My Biggest Video Game Nemesis or something like that. I absolutely hate that game. It's awful. And if you think any differently, tweet at Tweets Badly and I'll fight you. Anyway, moving on to Judd's least favourite entries of this year.
Go on,
Here we go. In fact, I think I'm going to have to do Judd as a top 5, because Judd's literally entered 17 games onto this, so we've not got enough for Judd to do a top 10, so we're going to do 5 for Judd. Okay. I'll do 5 from now on. on this. So, in at number 5 for Judd's least favourite games that we've added to the spreadsheet this year is Interactive Buddy, which is an old school Flash game where you just, like, it's like a torture chamber for this little pretend, like,
you
dude.
just beat up a little guy.
Judd gave it 60, so he did like it.
I did enjoy torturing the little guy, I gotta be honest.
It's quite fun to see the different ways you can do that. In at number 4 for Judd is Far Cry 6, which he gave a 43.
Yep. Not good.
Weirdly, Judd's third least liked game that's been entered this year is Halo, the original Halo, with a 40.
It's just really repetitive, and I don't even think it was groundbreaking for the time. Like,
for the time, it definitely was. If you compare it to other stuff that came out, then it really was. I enjoyed it a lot more because I played it with a Halo fan, so I think that helped a lot. And playing it co-op will be a lot more enjoyable than playing it on your own, I'm sure. I can understand a 40, but I think that's harsh. I think that's through modern lenses, probably, which is also fair game. That's how we do the spreadsheet as well. It's fine. But I enjoyed it a lot. I give it 70. But 40 for Judd. Destiny 2, Judd gave a 38. That's his second.
It sucks ass.
I gave it a 58. But I could see myself really liking that game. In theory, it's something I should really like. But it's at the point now where it's massively overly complicated. So I can't be bothered learning it all.
Yeah.
Judd's least favourite game that he's entered into the spreadsheet this year is one I've not got round to playing yet, but I think I'm going to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which he gave a 23.
Don't fucking bother. Don't even fucking bother. Because the thing is like, not only is it just a game that's just fucking boring and sucks, but it shows the state of where Borderlands is, like, going. Like, there is no content to this game. The end game content of Borderlands 2 was superb. There was so much to fucking do afterwards. And in this, it's literally, you run the same, like, gauntlet over and over again, trying to get better gear. It sucks. It fucking sucks. Honestly, it is such a bad game. I'm going to play
it when it gets to about £13. When it starts to cost about that much, I might play it. But I'm not going to play it now when it costs about 22. So that's Judd's bottom 5. Let's do my top 5, and then we'll do Judd's top 5. Oh my god. Big surprise from me, actually.
Go on.
Here we go. Anyway, so my... coming in at number 5 of my favourite games that I've played. It's basically favourite games I've played this year, because, or at least remembered to add this year. It probably is played this year. Actually, one sec. There's a certain game that I put your score in as my score by accident.
Okay.
So in at number 5, Little Inferno with 75.
Yeah.
Little Inferno is such a nice game. It can't get a massive score because it's not like, it's not got a huge world with all sorts to explore and it's beautiful and everything. It's just a simple concept, but it's executed so well, so nicely. And we've got great memories of playing through it as well. And I just love Little Inferno. It's just so satisfying to burn stuff in a fireplace. Well worth getting. It's really cheap as well. You can get it on your phone, for God's sake. If you've not played Little Inferno, get on it. Play it. There's even Christmas DLC that you can play now as well. It's such a good little game. I enjoy it a hell of a lot. Number 4 for me is Halo 3. It's probably my favourite Halo game that I played, because I played through all the ones that I've got co-op with Cal. Halo 3 was really cool, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I give it a 76. It's not as good as people make out, I will say that for sure. But I did really like it a lot. I can see why it's a classic shooter series. I still think I prefer Call of Duty, like the classic Call of Duty games. For like I'm talking like Call of Duty 4 till like the end of Black Ops 2. I would say that's the prime era for that sort of thing for me. But that's the same sort of era as Halo, so similar anyway. In at number 3 for me that we decided to add to the spreadsheet this year is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I give it 77. I still can't believe Judd can't remember this enough to add a score for it, but it's a fucking great game. It's the first GTA game that you can properly fuck about in a big city, really, with cool cheats and that. You could in GTA 3, which we played a lot of. You could in Vice City. Yeah, that's the one with CJ.
CJ.
So, but San Andreas was the first one that was properly fun. Great game. 77. Number 2 was a game that I made you play all the way through. We've got it on our channel. I'm making my girlfriend play it at the minute. Superliminal. Mixed between like a puzzle game and like Stanley Parable.
Yeah.
Mixed between like, I would say mixed between like Portal and Stanley Parable. Really cool game. You enjoyed that one a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was alright.
Concept was really cool. It went in a direction that, like, I wouldn't say it was a twist, but it was like a cool story thing. To say it's like mainly puzzle, gameplay. But my number 1 favorite game that I've played this year, I actually am kind of shocked, is Death's Door.
What?
Which is a game that I briefly mentioned to you last week that I'd started playing. I finished it like 2 days ago as of recording this podcast.
Okay.
It's like it's third person kind of top down game, and you play as this little crow. It's like, I guess it's a meld between something like Undertale and Binding of Isaac, and but the graphics aren't like those. The graphics are more like Fortnite, I guess.
Fortnite? Okay, I didn't expect you to say Fortnite.
They're like cartoony but 3D, and they're not outlined or anything. I'm trying to think of a game that's got graphics like that. I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's just worth looking up. It's got such a nice... It's not a story that's like massively like shocking or anything like that, but it's just a nice take on certain concepts that ain't overly complicated. It's just like, that's kind of cool, and things like that. And the gameplay is quite fun. And do you know what? The bosses are hard, but not too hard. And the bosses are hard, not the entire rest of the game, unlike Mario or whatever. The entire rest of the game, there's moments that are a little bit difficult, but like overall it's like puzzle solving, but not too difficult puzzle solving. Perfect difficulty balance, I would say. There's a secret ending that is so cool. Games don't do that shit nowadays, you know? It's nice. To a certain extent, it plays a bit like Prince of Persia in certain ways. Yeah. Absolutely lovely game. I don't know if it's Death's Door. Let me Google it. Can you get it on? You can get it on Steam.
Okay.
So that's one where it's like, and it's £16.75 on Steam. Let me see how much it is on CD Keys. It's £10. So like,
okay,
you can get the deluxe edition. I don't know what that'd do. £10. You should play this. It's good. It's a good game. I don't want to overhype it, but I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna actually share the link with you, Judd. Death's Door. Game of the year for me, apparently. It didn't come out this year, but there you go. That's my top 5. I think it reminded me of older games that I used to enjoy, and that helps a lot.
It reminded you of back when you used to enjoy things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I get that a lot with games nowadays, in that I'll be enjoying something, I'll be thinking, why am I enjoying this more than other games that I've played? And I'll think of the reasons why, and I'll be like, that's what older games were like. That's what games used to be like. You know? And I don't think that's why I'm not certain it's just nostalgia. I think games are just worse nowadays. Yeah. Anyway, Judd's top 5 games he's added to the spreadsheet this year. In at number 5.
God, tell me this is what everybody's interested.
Is Ultra Kill. I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, Ultra Kill. It was fun. It was a good game.
Should I play it?
Quite like a... Yeah, play it. Play Ultra Kill. You might. I think you won't enjoy it as much as me. I think you'll find it one of those games that like... Because it can be quite frustrating in places. I think you might want to see it as one of those. That's
I feel
just
like it's going to be like, what's that one? Super Hot? No, that's not what I'm thinking of. It's like a top-down game, and there's dudes with masks, and it's pixelated. What am I thinking of?
Oh, you're thinking of Hotline Miami.
That's the one. Is it like that?
It's not. No.
Okay.
No.
Never mind. Okay, Ultra Kill. Well, that's your number 5. Number 4, Super Mario Odyssey. 76.
Okay, I suppose, yeah.
You've not like barely even played any of that. That shows how little games you've played this year and what you've thought of them. In at number 3 is Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, which you gave 80.
Oh,
That's been your
it is not
recent
finished.
love, isn't it?
but it is fun. So
Your number 2 with an 85 is Battlefield 1. This feels like an unexpected game to be your second favorite game of the year.
It's just one of those where I want like an online game that I'm going to be playing with other people that like I'm not going to go super hard at, because when I play League of Legends and when I play Overwatch, I go quite hard to like try and win. But in Battlefield 1, it's more like it's more immersing in the multiplayer, because it's I don't know, it's just very immersing, like when you play on these big sort of like conquest maps.
I just struggle to get into any online competitive multiplayer game and not be competitive.
Yeah, I feel like Battlefield 1 is the one where I sort of just let myself be a bit more like, whoa, look at all this that's going on around me.
Yeah, I did that a bit with Overwatch when we played the first one ages ago, but
yeah,
I'm more like that with games such as your number 1 highest rated game that we've put on the spreadsheet this year, which is Doom Eternal. You gave it an 89.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this one wasn't quite as good as the first rebooted one, but you liked it a lot. I thought it was good. I gave it 70, but yeah, Doom Eternal. It's pew pew demons. That is fun.
Yeah, pew pew demons. Pew pew demons.
I know that's the type of game that it'd be hard to get a bad score. You know?
Yeah.
Apparently, Ben says Doom Eternal is based.
Well, there you go. From the mouth of babes. So
there you go. That's that. Right, let's look at the overall scores on the doors, on the floors, on the course. I don't know. So, this is scores including my score, Judd's score, if we've rated them, we might not have, plus the averages from Metacritic critics, Metacritic audiences, and IGN. So, in at number 5, worst game that's been added to the spreadsheet this year, Mario Bros. This is on the Atari. Not Super Mario Bros. Not the one people think, the actual original one on Atari. 44. DayZ, which neither of us actually rated. I thought Judd might have played that, but neither of us rated. Gets a 41. Number 3 is Duck Hunt, which gets an average score of 40 because a lot of the older games don't have scores from Metacritic or IGN, so these last 3 is just my scores for them. Number 2 is Yoshi's Island, and number 1 is Adventure. Those are the worst ones. So now let's look at the best ones. So, including everyone's scores, the top 5 game that's been added to this spreadsheet is Doom Eternal with 85.
Nice.
Number 4 is Halo Reach with an 86. Number 3 is Halo 2 with an 89.
Is that the one that everybody says is the one Halo 2?
Halo 3.
Halo 3.
Halo 3
Halo
is
3.
The one that everyone loves the most.
Okay.
Some people like Halo 2 a lot as well. Anyway, the second highest overall rated is GTA San Andreas with a 90. And the highest rated game that's been entered this year onto this spreadsheet is Super Mario Odyssey with a 91. So there you have it. That's everything. It's been a bit of a mess of a presentation actually this time, and it's gone on forever. It's literally been over 2 hours long. But
nice.
I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you are interested in our opinions on all this bollocks. And thanks for sticking around. Thanks for supporting the podcast this year. And let us know if there's anything we should add to this spreadsheet that you think could be good, anything we should watch or play or anything like that. And having said that, Judd, why don't you sign us out with the words that you say at the end of every podcast, the regular ones that you always say.
Christmas is a time for being nice, so do it.
Yeah, okay. Well done. Thanks.